Okay, we're now going to look at finding the point of intersection between various straight lines. So that could be altitudes, perpendicular bisectors, or medians. Let's look at an example 1. F, G and H are the points 1, 0, minus 4, 3, and 0, minus 1, respectively. FJ we're told is a median of the triangle, and HR is an altitude. The question then asks us to, first of all, find the equation of the median FJ. Second of all, the altitude HR. And third of all, the point of intersection between those two straight lines. So let's first of all sketch the thing out. Okay, so here's the point G, minus 4, 3. There's the point F, 1, 0. And then finally the point H, which is 0, minus 1. Okay, so we're looking for the median FJ, so that comes from F and it cuts the opposite line in the middle. So we need to then find this midpoint of GH. So that's an average of the X and the Y coordinates. So that's minus 4 plus 0 over 2. And 3 minus 1 over 2. Minus 4 plus 0 is minus 4 over 2 is minus 2. 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 over 2 is 1. So that's now the point minus 2, 1. So we're needing gradient and point. We've got 2 points. So more than enough is needed there. But let's find the gradient. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. 0 minus 1 over 1 minus 2. So that's minus 1 over 3. So the gradient of the median is minus 1/3. We can then choose any point that lies in the line. So let's choose the point F10. So that'll be y minus 0 equals minus 1/3 bracket x minus 1. Let's multiply through by 3. And that'll give me 3y equals minus 1 bracket x minus 1. That's 3y equals minus x plus 1. And that's the equation of the median. Okay, we're now going to find the equation of the altitude, HR. So that comes from H and it cuts the opposite line at a right angle. That's what an altitude does. So we have our point. Now to get the gradient, we'll need to find the gradient of GF and then think about perpendicular lines and how that affects the gradient. So let's first of all find the gradient of GF. So that will be 0 minus 3 over 1 minus 4. And that's minus 3 over 5. To now find the gradient of the altitude, we'll need to think about m1, m2 equals minus 1. So we'll flip it over, change its sign, and the gradient of the altitude then is positive 5 over 3. We've got the point gradient, and into y minus b equals m bracket x minus a. So that's y minus minus 1 equals 5 over 3 bracket x minus 0. That's y plus 1 is equal to 5/3 bracket x minus 0. Let's multiply through by 3, and that will be 3y plus 3 is equal to 5 bracket x minus 0. Well, 3y plus 3 is equal to 5x, and 3y is equal to 5x minus 3. Part C is now looking for me to find the point of intersection between both the straight lines, so that's simultaneous equations. So remember that our first equation was 3y equals minus x plus 1. That was the median. Let's call that equation 1. And the altitude, the second equation, was 3y equals 5x minus 3. Okay, so we can easily get rid of the 3y's here. We can see that the signs are the same, they're both plus. So if the signs are same, then we can subtract. So we could do 1 take away 2 or 2 take away 1, it doesn't matter. So 3y take away 3y goes, and that's 0. 5x minus x is 5x plus x, that's 6x. And then minus 3 minus 1 is minus 4. That will then give me 6x equals 4 and x equals 4 over 6, which can simplify down to 2/3. To now find the y coordinate, we would sub that back into one of the equations. So let's sub x equals 2/3 into one of the equations, and let's go for equation 1. So in equation 1, wherever I see x, I'll replace it with 2/3. So that's 3y equals, well, it's minus 2/3, that's the substitution, plus 1. So 3y equals minus 2/3 plus 3/3. That's y equals 1/3. 3y equals 1/3 rather. And then y will be equal to 1/3 divided by 3. So think about if you had a third of a pizza, you divide it into 3 bits, each bit would be 1/9. It's important then to communicate your final answer, which is the point of intersection, which is 2/3, 1/9. Okay, let's try another. Triangle ABC has vertices A minus 1, 6, B minus 3, minus 2, and C 5, 2. So let's draw that out. Might look something like that. A minus 1, 6, C 5, 2, and B minus 3, minus 2. Part A says find the equation of the line P, which is the median of triangle ABC. So it's the median from C. So the median from C will cut the line AB in the middle. Okay, so let's find the midpoint. Okay, so remember the midpoint is an average of the x and y coordinates. So that's minus 1 minus 3 over 2, 6 minus 2 over 2, minus 1 minus 3 is minus 4 over 2 is minus 2, and 6 minus 2 is 4 over 2 is 2. We now have 2 points that lie on the line, so we can find the gradient. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, 2 minus 2 is 0, over 5 minus 2 is 5 plus 2, that's 7, that's 0. So this is one of those special cases where the gradient is equal to 0. Therefore, it's very easy to find the equation of that line then. It's just y equals to a constant, and that constant is just the y coordinate on the line, which we can verify twice as 2. So the equation of the median is y equals 2. Okay, next we're going to find the equation of the line Q, which is the perpendicular bisector of BC. So the perpendicular bisector of BC will cut this line BC in the middle and at a right angle. So let's first of all find the midpoint. So that's given by minus 3 plus 5 over 2 and minus 2 plus 2 over 2. Minus 3 plus 5 is 2, 2 over 2 is 1, minus 2 plus 2 is 0, 0 over 2 is 0. So the point on the perpendicular bisector is definitely 1, 0. We're now looking to find the gradient of the perpendicular bisector. So it's perpendicular to the line BC, so let's find the gradient of BC and then adjust as appropriate for the perpendicular bisector. So it's got a wee bit cluttered here, but we can see that it's y2 minus y12 minus 2 over 5 minus 3. And that's 4 over 8, which is equal to 1/2. Be careful now, so we're looking for the gradient of this line, the perpendicular bisector, so that's m1, m2 equals minus 1. So flip half over, change its sign, and I get a gradient of minus 2. So I've got my gradient, I've got my point 1, 0, and it's straight into y minus b equals m bracket x minus a. So y minus 0 equals minus 2 bracket x minus 1. That's y equals minus 2x plus 2. Okay, part C is then saying find the coordinates of the point intersection between the two lines, so that's simultaneous equations. So there I've got my first equation, and there's the equation for part A, y equals 2. So we can just use a substitution method here. We already know that the y coordinate is definitely 2, so sub y equals 2 into equation 1, wherever I see y in equation 1, I'll replace it with 2. So that's 2 equals minus 2x plus 2. Okay, so bring that over, and that will be 2x equals 2 minus 2. 2x is equal to 0, x is equal to 0. Communicate my answer then. Point of intersection is, well, the x coordinate is 0, the y coordinate is 2, 0, 2.